The screen goes black, and then we see him. A familiar white-haired figure stepping out of the shadows, but something feels different. Geralt of Rivia is back, only this time, his face isn't the one we remember. The official teaser for The Witcher Season 4 has dropped, and it leaves us with more questions than answers. What secrets are hidden in these quick flashes? What dangers are rising from the dark corners of the continent? And most importantly, what destiny is pulling our heroes back together? The teaser wastes no time in throwing us into the middle of chaos. Geralt, Milva, and a new ally, Zoltan, stand before an ancient tomb, the air heavy with danger. For longtime fans of the books and games, Zoltan is a name that sparks recognition. He's a loyal dwarf companion with sharp wit and a braver heart than most men. His arrival here signals one thing: Geralt's journey is about to become more dangerous and far more complicated. At the end of Season 3, Geralt, battered and nearly broken, set out with Milva to search for Ciri. Now, the teaser shows us that their quest has led them to this tomb. The silence is broken only by Geralt's warning: something lives here, something that shouldn't be awakened. And then it happens. He speaks the words, and a wraith emerges from the shadows. Wraith isn't just another monster, it is hatred and sorrow given form. It's a creature tied to death, cursed to linger until its rage is satisfied. They cannot be reasoned with, they cannot be calmed, and they despise the living with a passion. In the world of The Witcher, fighting a wraith is almost always a losing battle, unless you know their weakness. Silver cuts them, but they phase through strikes like smoke. The only way to truly harm them is with traps and signs that bind their ghostly form to this world. The teaser captures the terror of the wraith beautifully. Geralt swings his silver sword, but it slips through the creature's body as though he's cutting through mist. It grabs him, dragging him across the ground, tossing him like he's nothing but a toy. Milva and Zoltan rush into the tomb, leaving Geralt to fight alone. The question hangs in the air: what lies in that tomb that is worth summoning a wraith to guard it? We see Geralt use his Witcher signs, small but powerful bursts of magic. First, the telekinetic blast of Ard, not to hurt the wraith, but to push himself out of her grip. Then comes Erden, the glowing trap that pins the wraith to the ground, forcing her to fight on Geralt's terms. For the first time in this scene, the balance shifts. His blade finds its mark, cutting through her spectral body. The battle reaches its climax as Geralt crushes the wraith's heart, flames flickering in his hand, an eerie suggestion that Igni, the fire sign, plays a part in destroying her once and for all. This single fight tells us a lot about what season may 4th bring. First, it proves that the showrunners are willing to add new twists not directly pulled from the books. In Baptism of Fire, the novel on which this season is based, there is no wraith battle like this. But by adding it, the series sets a darker tone, reminding us that Geralt's path won't just be about politics and war. It will be haunted by monsters that reflect the pain and unfinished business of the world itself. And speaking of unfinished business, the teaser doesn't let us forget the biggest question hanging over everything: Ciri. By the end of Season 3, she was separated from Geralt and Yennefer, running with a gang known as the Rats. The teaser shows her briefly, her hair cropped short, her identity hidden under the name Faka. For those who know the lore, this name carries heavy weight. Faka was a legendary figure tied to rebellion and destruction, and by taking her name, Ciri is signaling a dangerous turn in her journey. She's hiding, but she's also becoming someone new, someone who could shape or destroy the world. Then, the teaser shifts again, and we see Yennefer. Her eyes burn with determination, but this is not the same Yennefer we knew in the earlier seasons. After the fall of the Brotherhood of Sorcerers and the loss of her mentor Tissaia, Yennefer is stepping into a new role. She is no longer the reckless mage fighting only for herself. Now, she must lead. We catch a glimpse of her standing opposite Francesca, the elven sorceress who once allied with Nilfgaard but now seeks revenge after the death of her child. For a moment, they are enemies. But destiny has a cruel way of forcing alliances, and with Nilfgaard growing stronger, it seems inevitable that Yennefer and Francesca will have to stand side by side. The teaser also gives us our first look at Regis, a character beloved by fans of the books and games. Played by Lawrence Fishburne, Regis is no ordinary companion. Though the teaser doesn't reveal much about him, his presence alone confirms that Season 4 is leaning heavily into Baptism of Fire. Regis is intelligent, mysterious, and far more important than he first appears. His arrival suggests that Geralt's company is about to expand into the fellowship we know from the novels, a group bound not by friendship, but by necessity and survival. And then, there's the moment that fans both dreaded and waited for, the reveal of Liam Hemsworth as Geralt. 4 years, Henry Cavill's face has been tied to the White Wolf. Now, the mantle has been passed. The teaser doesn't shy away from this. In fact, it doubles down, showing Liam reenacting Geralt's battle with Akikimora from Season 1. The message is clear. This is Geralt now. Accept it or don't, but the story goes on. The camera lingers on his armor, his scars, his sword raised against a familiar foe. It's a bold move by the creators, forcing us to confront the change head-on. Whether fans embrace it or not, Geralt's journey continues, and destiny still binds him to Ciri and Yennefer. The teaser reminds us that the White Wolf is more than just the man who plays him. He is a legend written in blood, steel, and prophecy. The teaser doesn't just stop at battles and new faces. It hints at the larger war swallowing the continent. We catch a fleeting shot of peasants gathered around Geralt, Regis, Zoltan, and Yarpen Zygrin. They look beaten, their clothes ragged, their eyes filled with fear. These people are not warriors. They are survivors. War has stripped them of homes, families, and safety. Nilfgaard continues its relentless campaign, while the northern kingdoms crumble under betrayal and infighting. For these peasants, Geralt's company might look like hope, or perhaps just another group of mercenaries passing through. But what makes this moment stand out is the silence. Everyone is watching, waiting for someone to speak. Who commands their attention? Who dares to raise their voice in the midst of so much despair? The teaser doesn't tell us, but the image lingers like a warning. The continent is fractured, and the choices our heroes make will decide whether it heals or breaks forever. And while armies clash on the surface, darker struggles stir beneath. The teaser gives us a glimpse of Yennefer standing tall, her gaze sharp, her hand steady. Beside her are other sorceresses, some familiar, others new. With the Brotherhood shattered, she must lead what remains of the magical world. But leadership is not power, it is sacrifice. The weight of guiding mages who distrust each other and enemies who outnumber them is heavy, and the teaser paints Yennefer not as invincible, but as determined. She may be broken, but she refuses to bend. Francesca, too, carries her own burden. Once a queen of her people, she was betrayed by Nilfgaard, the empire she trusted. Her child murdered by the very hand she thought was her ally. The pain is etched into her face. She burns for vengeance, but vengeance often blinds more than it heals. Will Francesca's fury push her closer to Yennefer, or drive her into another dangerous alliance? The teaser leaves this question hanging, fueling the suspense. Then there's Ciri. If the teaser has one haunting thread, it is her. We see flashes of her with the rats, a band of outlaws who care little for destiny and more for survival. She hides her identity under the name Faka, but we know the truth. She is Ciri of Cintra, the child of the Elder Blood, a girl who carries the power to remake the world. And yet, here she is, lost among criminals, fighting to belong. The teaser doesn't just show us her new look, it shows us her new path. A path that could either lead her to strength or drag her into darkness. Her visions of Geralt continue, flickering through the teaser like whispers of destiny. Their bond cannot be broken by war or distance. Geralt sees her, even when she is far away. She feels him, even when his sword clashes against monsters. This connection is what makes their story so powerful. No matter how many times they are torn apart, the universe will always find a way to pull them back together. The question is not if they will reunite, but how much they will suffer before that moment comes. And just when we think the teaser has shown its hand, it introduces one final piece, Valdo Marks. For fans who know the lore, Valdo is a bard and rival to Jaskier. His appearance here feels almost playful, a reminder that not everything in The Witcher is doom and bloodshed. But beneath the humor lies history. Flashbacks suggest that his rivalry with Jaskier may run deeper than just songs and jealousy. Perhaps we will see why these two men despise each other so much, or perhaps Valdo's presence is meant to highlight something else, the power of stories. In a world torn apart by war, sometimes it is the tales told in taverns that decide who is remembered as a hero and who is cursed as a villain. And then, Regis. His reveal is brief but powerful. Lawrence Fishburne's presence radiates authority, even in silence. Fans of the books know Regis's true nature, but the teaser is careful not to spoil it. All we see is a man who seems wise, calm, and out of place among warriors. Yet we know better. Regis is not just another companion. He is a symbol of redemption, mystery, and the strange alliances destiny forges. His role could reshape everything we think we know about Geralt's company. The teaser closes with images that clash together: fire, steel, blood, and silence. Geralt, still too clean in his armor, walking through a war-torn land. Yennefer, eyes glowing with resolve. Ciri, blade in hand, her name whispered like a curse. And through it all, the sound of prophecy hangs heavy. The time of the sword and the axe is nigh. The time of contempt. Season 4 is not just another chapter. It is the turning point. The world is burning, destiny is shifting, and every choice will matter. Geralt will be tested, Yennefer will be forced to lead, and Ciri will decide what kind of power she truly wants to become. The teaser leaves us on edge, desperate for answers, but certain of one thing: this is not the end of the story. This is the beginning of something far darker, far bigger, and far more dangerous than anything we've seen before. So, what did you think of the teaser? Are you ready to accept Liam Hemsworth as the new White Wolf? Do you believe Ciri can survive the path she's chosen? And do you think Yennefer and Francesca will stand together or destroy each other? One thing is clear: the continent has never been more divided, and destiny has never been more ruthless. If this teaser is any indication, The Witcher Season 4 will not just test its characters, it will test us as fans.